Hello and welcome to today's Just Chopsing Podcast. And today with David and myself we have Simon McBride. Simon McBride is a Northern Irish blues rock guitar player, is that correct?
Apparently, yeah. How you all doing?
Yeah, good man. And you played with Ian Gillan, Don Airy, toured with the likes of Joe Satriani, Jeff Beck, Joe Bonamassa, so quite a good resume there.
Yeah, I've done quite a lot over my career. Been very fortunate, to play with some great people, some great musicians, some great legends, So yeah, I've done quite a lot in how many years? Probably, I don't know, 30.
Depends how old you are.
22, really. Do you believe me?
So I read that you won a Guitarist of the Year when you were 15.
Yeah, that's correct. I won that when I was 15. Yeah, when I was a kid, I was like this kind of like child protege. Everybody wanted me to play all this mad fast stuff.
Okay.
So I was. All I can say is a very fast learner. So I was when I was a kid. That's why I won it when I was 15. Yeah, it was Guitarist magazine. They're still going. It was UK Guitarist of the Year, which I won when I was 15. So, yeah, people are still talking about it 25 years later or whatever it is. I don't know. I can't count.
That's good though. So when you were 15, you had fast fingers?
Had fast fingers. Now I've got slow fingers.
I think most 15-year-olds have fast fingers, don't they?
Yeah, pretty true. Yeah, I think so.
And it also says in your bio that you toured 6 years with Andrew Strong. And Andrew, for people that don't know out there, and probably you, Dave, Andrew Strong was
massive Andrew Strong fan.
Was the singer of the Commitments movie.
Yeah, I went to when the Commitments had their reform for the 20th anniversary, and they did maybe 6 shows in Ireland. Myself and Sarah went over to Dublin and we went and watched them live in the O2.
Oh, okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, I played with Andrew for I don't 6 years roughly. I'm guessing it was 6 years. I did that. I got that gig when I was in my very, very, very late teens and into my 20s. So it was good fun. Andrew's a great guy. He's a lovely guy, and we have a common interest. He loves hard rock music, and so do I. So we get on like a house on fire.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's I did that for 6 years. Just toured around a lot of the world doing. He has a few solo records. So we're doing stuff of that primarily, and we did the usual Commitment stuff as well. For you have to do like Dark End of the Street and Mustang Sally and all the wedding band stuff that everybody loves to hate these days.
Yeah.
So, but it was good crack. It was good fun. It was a great experience, to be honest. A 20-year-old kid, getting thrown into the world of touring and chaos was a dream, really. Yeah. And I'll not elaborate on what happened on the tours, but you can imagine.
Was that your first taste of it, really? Then was it?
No, not well. Sort of. Before that, I was kind of doing. I was in a band called Sweet Savage, which were a heavy rock band from Belfast. With their previous guitarist was a guy called Vivian Campbell. Mm-hmm. Or Viv, he plays for Def Leppard and Whitesnake and all those people, over the years. But so I did that, but I didn't really do a lot of tours with those guys. I did more like one-off festivals here and there. So whereas, the Andrew gig was the first kind of taste of rock and roll. You're on the tour bus and and doing bad stuff and all of the above. So but yeah, I did that. Yeah, it must have been about 6 years, I think. Must be. I can't remember. All I remember is I had enough, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore.
No, right. Okay.
Yeah, it was just because it was kind of constant, if you know what I mean. And it's like any gig, it's great, but the more you do of something and you do it, day in day out for years, it becomes a bit monotonous and like, okay, the excitement wears off after 2 years, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
But but it was fun. It was definitely a big part of my whole career and my life, and I don't regret any of it. I made a lot of great friends, and out of that band too. Because it was a complete difference to Sweet Savage. Sweet Savage was a heavy metal band. where the guitar was the driving force really in the band, and then I go to a soul band which has like 11 people in it, where the guitar has it takes a back seat. So musically it was a great learning experience for me, because I didn't know how to take a back seat in a band. I was like, what, you don't want me to play a solo in this song? Okay, what's happening? What's happening right now? So, but it was a great learning experience. So I and it was very cool because I got to sit and play, all these different songs, which aren't rock songs at all, But then again, as I said, Andrew was a hard rock fan, so it always crept into the set. There was always, I think the hardest rock song we did was Born to Be Wild, I think, at the time.
Oh, okay.
So, and of course, Andrew, he plays guitar himself, so, he likes the solo too and do stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's good
So
fun.
did you do more in the style of the Cult version then? Born to Be Wild.
We just did Andrew's version or our
okay.
version, which was just play this as hard rock as we possibly can.
Yeah.
That was it, So, because you had me and Andrew played guitar. We both played guitar on. He played a Strat into a Mezzo Boogie, and I played my PRS into a Mezzo Boogie. Funny enough, as well. I used Marshall or Mezzo Boogie. Just depends what it was, So two of those, like a two guitar classic rock band. That's the way we played it.
Is he still living in America? Because he moved to America, didn't he?
No, he lived in LA when he was a kid, when he was doing that movie.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, in that movie, he was only 16.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, yeah.
So everybody he looks a bit older than that in the movie, but he was only a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
So he moved to LA, and to be honest, Andrew had the making of being a superstar, but just bad management and stuff behind the scenes just kind of screwed it all up for him. And partly because, as I said, Andrew's a massive hard rock fan, and it's funny enough, Andrew recorded this album like literally straight after the Commitments, because everybody wanted him. Who's this?
Well, he was a 16-year-old sensation, wasn't he? Really?
Yeah, it was like, and the voice he had was incredible.
That's what I mean.
I know, so at the time he was a massive Soundgarden fan and listened to Chris Cornell and all that sort of thing, and so he did this album, and nobody has ever heard this album apart. I've heard it, and I have it somewhere. It's unbelievable. It's like it just sounds like Soundgarden or something, because he's got the voice for it. But the record company went, "That's great. We'll put it up there," and that was the end of his career, basically. Just shelved him, So, it's but that's a product of bad management. Management should have really kind of said, "Okay, you can we'll release that album, but let's do this album and this album and this album, to build your
build your image, yeah."
But so he moved back. He lives in Ireland now. He lived in Denmark there for a while, but he's now back in Ireland. He's got a wife and a kid and family. He's a family man now, so he is.
Yeah.
He still does the odd gig. He still tours around Europe and stuff. I don't do them anymore. I haven't played with Andrew in almost 15, 16 years now. So it is so, but still I bump into him the odd time, so.
Okay, yeah.
But he's doing well. He's doing good.
Cool, man.
And then is that kind of like what inspired you to start your own songwriting then? Was it when you toured with Andrew? And you had
that's
another side of the music business. Is that kind of like where it all kicked off for you then with your solo stuff?
Yeah, basically, because I come home, when I was doing the Andrew thing, I just had enough. I was sick of it, and things were just going a bit sour, relationships with, in the band, and that's, it's always a sign this is not working anymore. We need to move on, So, I just come home one day from a tour, and I remember saying to Andrew, he says, "Andrew, I'm done. I can't do this anymore." And he was cool about it, He knows the crack. He's been around, so. So I came home and I just wanted to do something different. So I tried a few different things. I tried a few different original bands. Nothing really that was of any importance, to be honest. But that also taught me that being an original band, comes all the complications of politics within with musicians, and I was in that mental state of I don't need this right now. So I decided then, I says, you know what, I'm going to give this a go myself. Right? And I sat down one day and I started playing the guitar and started playing around with a few ideas and songs. And then, the first thing I wrote was the track on my first record called Down by the River. So And the other thing is I'd never really sang before. I'd always just sang backing vocals. So going into that world of being a frontman as a vocalist as well was a massive challenge for me too. So, but yeah, that's what kind of started it all for me, you know. And you know, because I just had enough of being in a band of the politics, and I wanted to be my own boss, and I just wanted to call the shots. If I wanted to do something, I could do it. I didn't have to go to 3 other members and go, well, what do you think? Or what do you think? And then it gets rejected, and you're like,
Yeah.
it's very frustrating, you know. But some people make it work. I just couldn't make it work. So and I think I was just that combination of, you know, being on tour for so long and then coming home and doing my own thing or trying different things, which led me to this path that I'm on now, you know. So, but yeah, it's weird how things happen.
Yeah, so you've got a new single out then called The Fighter. I mean, is that a reference to your career?
Probably a little bit, yeah. It's a little bit. It's a reference to most people who need, you know, just is never stop fighting for anything that you want or believe in, or you know, because like as I say to people, you know, if you look at my career, it's taken me. I signed it Ear Music, which are a big record label now, you know, and I signed to them about 4 years ago, and it only taken me like, I don't know, 20 years to get that far, you know. It's like, or longer, 30 years, because I've been doing it, but 25, 26 years, because I've been realistically in this scene since I was a kid. So yeah, it's taken me about 26 years to get to that stage. So it's like a case of you just never give up, keep fighting, you know. There was many different things, you know. The lyrics of it, you know, they correspond to many other things, like in the video, if you've seen with, you know, the guy with the you know, the one leg and stuff, but becoming an athlete and a successful swimmer, and you know, or could relate to, you know, Ewan McGregor walking out, you know, going into his fight or whatever, you know, that could relate to that, you know. It's but yeah, for me, it was all about just not giving up on what you have or your dreams or whatever, that sort of thing, and just keep fighting. That's it, you know. It's a eat dog world right there.
Yeah. So you've got when's your album coming out? Your album's coming out this year, is it?
Yeah, it's coming out in March the 11th, I think.
Okay.
So I think there's another single coming out in February, and then album will probably be out in March. Yeah, the album's been a long time coming, to be honest. Like, my last album was 2012, so I think I'm overdue a little bit, you know. So
yeah, you should have had 3 in there by now.
Oh, I know, but it's you know what, I've been doing other things. I say I haven't done an album, you know. I did 3 albums with Ian Gillan, I did 3 with Don Airy, so I've, you know, and Snake Charmer. So I've done a lot of various albums in the process, plus, you know, having a family and you know, that sort of thing. But yeah, it'll be out in March. Believe it or not, this album was actually done, ready to go about 3 years ago, but then COVID hit, and it was like, crap, not again. You know, it was just like another thing to set it back, you know, because I talked to the label about, you know, possibly releasing it.
Yeah.
And they were just like, well, you might as well drive down the road, wind your window down, and throw it out the car. It's pointless, you know, over COVID, because, you know, you can't tour, and the only way you promote an album these days is to tour it, and you know, and that's it. You know, if you can't tour, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
I know there's a lot of bigger artists even who released albums and they didn't do as much as they did, you know, or would normally do in the COVID you know, situation. So for me, I was like, nah, I've waited this long, I can wait another, you know, year, 2 years, whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
it's dragging on a bit, this COVID thing, isn't it?
I know, it's starting to do my head in, to be honest.
I think it's doing everybody's head in, you know. A lot of people are starting to get fucking depressed, and in general, the general mood is just pissed off, I think.
I think that's probably, I think it's that, and I think it's also just a combination of January. January always sucks. Like,
everybody's got sad seasonal, what do they call it?
I don't know what it is. But
seasonal something disorder.
Yeah, not enough vitamin D.
Seasonal adjustment disorder, I think.
Something like that,
yeah. But I think, fingers crossed, this year will be a bit more back to a new normal, I think. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever the new normal is going to be, but hopefully.
Well, what's it like in Ireland? Because you're in Northern Ireland, I guess.
Yes.
So you're falling under British rule as probably English rule
Apparently.
for the COVID
Apparently.
for the COVID stuff. But what's it
Yeah.
like in Ireland then? Oh, just over the border. I mean,
It's well, they're more hardcore than we are, you
oh,
know,
okay.
or in the UK. All their clubs and bars and stuff down south of Ireland are all closed at 8 p.m. at night,
Okay.
and they have had strict, you know, the passport thing in operation
Yeah.
for the last for a year now. So they've been very very strict with it all. Hasn't made a damn bit of difference, but you know, it's just it is what it is. Every country's different, you know. They suppose they have to follow the European law, which is, you know, a bit different. You know, over here in Northern Ireland, we are under the, you know, the British government, you know, but we still have our own, you know, government, which are useless at the best of times. But so and they, but generally we just follow suit to whatever the UK does. You know, that's generally what happens. But
Yeah, yeah.
it hasn't really, you know, apart from gigging, it hasn't really affected me that much. You know, the whole COVID situation. You know, it's I've been very fortunate that I've actually been able to keep going over the last, you know, two years, whatever, just with mostly online stuff, which is
Yeah, yeah.
which is great. You know, it's taught me a lesson. You know, it's taught me a lesson that, you know, I have to, you know, keep doing what I'm doing currently with the online stuff, and then when I start touring again, it's a lot more work for me, but I don't mind. It's, you know, it's all income, as they say at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But like you say, every country's different. I mean, I'm in Holland, and here everything is shut at the moment.
Oh, really?
The schools have only just open back up this week, actually.
Right.
But all the clubs, pubs, bars, restaurants are all shut.
Really?
But if you drive 45 minutes into Belgium, everything's open, you know.
Welcome to the world.
Crazy, isn't it?
It's mad. It is
It's
crazy.
like fucking nuts. So everybody from Holland is just piling into Belgium at the moment.
Are they really? They're going
Yeah,
over
yeah. Because
clubs and stuff, are they?
yeah, I was talking to a guy in work 2 days ago, and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to the gym in Belgium now. It's a 40-minute drive. I'm going to the gym. We go shopping. We go to the restaurants. Get my hair cut. Because in Holland everything is shut, you know."
I know, it was the same. It was actually the same for up here because, you know, a little bit, you know, because we were open and there's no physical border between, you know, the
Yeah,
south,
yeah.
you know, so and there's like I drive down to the south every week. Nobody there. Nobody says nothing. There's no you know, security points or nothing
Yeah,
at all. Just a road, and that's it. You don't even know you're in the south until you're in Dublin or whatever. But it was the same. But you know, because the south were locked down a lot longer than us, you know, there was people coming up over the border just to go shopping in the north and stuff like that, and then driving back home because it's only about an hour and a 15-minute drive. So, and then actually, I know people from here, from where I live. I live in a tiny little village up north, and it's funny the way it all happens. It's like, you know, in the UK, they were open. The pubs were open before Northern Ireland. So I know guys who were literally booking flights just to go get a pint. I'm going. So you're flying to Liverpool or whatever it is just to get a pint? Yeah. I'm going. Something wrong there, dude. Something wrong. That's a slight sense of desperation there, you know. You ever heard of a can, or, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, but you know, probably missing the nights out, and
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, if
probably
you can
more.
fly cheap, I mean, if the
That's the
flights
thing.
are like
I
20
don't
quid
even.
or whatever.
I don't even think the flights were cheap. That's the thing.
Okay.
I think it's like the flights at the time, with, you know, because it was like, you know, there was not much options when it comes to flights. The flights were like over 100 quid or something, you know.
Oh yeah, forget it then.
But it's, you know, it's. I think really it's just what people miss is the social activity. It's a social thing.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the thing. Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's what we all miss. You know.
Yeah.
That's. But you know, I'm married with 2 kids, so I don't have a social life anymore anyway. So it makes no
Yeah, I know,
difference.
yeah. I know the feeling. But so I was also reading on your bio. This is quite a. I don't know how to say it, but you have got a face melting live show for a 13-date live tour and forthcoming album. So I don't. You're not going to be melting too many faces, mate.
No. Yeah, I don't know who wrote that. Well, but yeah, I have a tour. Yeah, I have a tour in March, which in the UK.
That'll
Hopefully,
coincide with the album release then.
yeah. Basically, yeah. It's just literally the day after. I have two dates in Ireland on the 12th and the 13th, I think, of March, and then we're over in the UK doing some stuff. But yeah, to coincide with the album, it'll be fun. I forgot how to do it all, but it's I haven't done it in a while. The touring side of it. So, has it been like over 2 years now, since 2.5 years since I did a tour. I remember my last gig was a festival. It was August 2019. I was doing the Cambridge Rock Festival with Don Airy.
Okay.
It was my last gig. Tell a lie. I did a few gigs there before Christmas.
Yeah.
That was but before then. So it was nearly over 2 years since I did a gig. So it must be 2.5 before I did a tour. So yeah, I'm very excited about doing it. To be honest, and I'm not. It's gonna be good fun. I hope not to melt anybody's face. I hope they can't walk away with their face intact. After each gig. So. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I hope people enjoy it. We're just playing mostly all new stuff from the album. So it's
So you got it as a 3-piece or a 4-piece?
3-piece.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah. No, we always kind of go out with 3-piece. We can make enough noise, with just the three of us. Yeah. The thing is, it's a funny thing when you have a 3-piece and a 4-piece band. 3-piece band, you have more room to experiment. If you want it live, you can take it a bit, take it somewhere else than on the spot. If you know what I mean. Whereas you have like a fourth member, like a keyboard player or something there, everything gets tied down to the arrangement of the song, and that's it. You don't deviate, because it's hard to get 4 people watching people going, "What's he going to do?
Yeah.
He's going to go here? Oh crap!" It's so. Yeah, 3-piece, and plus it keeps the cost down too.
I was going to say, make more money anyway.
Pretty much, so yeah. That's the way it works,
next year you'll be just you and a Mac.
That's it.
MacBook Pro.
Yeah, that's it. Or an iPad. I don't know what it's.
Yeah.
No, I'll always be a band. I can't. I've done the acoustic thing before, just a 1-piece thing, and it's great, but it's not me. I'm not Tommy Emmanuel or one of those guys. I'm just like. I play electric guitar and I want to play rock stuff, and I like the band thing. I like to play live, and that's it.
Well, Tommy Emmanuel doesn't sing, does he?
He used to years ago. He still does now and again. He sings the odd song on his gigs and stuff. So yeah,
okay.
He does. He's one of these guys. He's very good at everything, which is a pain in the arse.
Yeah. He's an amazing guitar player. Acoustic guitar player.
Yeah, he's a great electric player too. He's a great drummer. Because before he did all acoustic stuff, he did a couple of albums which were all electric.
Okay.
He played nearly everything on the albums too, which is annoying. And but it didn't really do anything. It didn't really have any sort of sound. The only thing that had a sound on the albums was his acoustic. He always did like a couple of acoustic tracks, and you can see, okay, that's his thing. That's what he does now, So yeah, I have a funny story about Tommy Emmanuel, actually. I remember coming back from, I think it was Birmingham, just a random flight from Birmingham to Belfast, and I was standing in line to get on the plane, and I heard all this commotion up front, at the front of the queue, and I heard a lot of not very nice words being used, and this funny accent, and I was going, what's going up there? And I seen a guy with a couple of guitars, and I just looked at him and went, I guess what this is all about, They won't let him on the plane, He was going about, this is all bureaucracy, bull nonsense, blah, 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 blah. And, it turns out it was Tommy Emmanuel at the front, getting on the plane, and when we got on the plane, because they didn't let him on with his guitar, and they made him because they were in gig bags, they made him put him in underneath the plane. Yeah, and I got on, and there was nobody on the plane but Tommy, me, and 2 other people. I just walked over to him and said, "No room for your guitars, then?" No. And he started off. So I had a nice chat with Tommy. So he's a lovely guy. But yeah, that's my funny story.
Yeah, he comes across as quite a nice guy, actually.
Yeah, he takes no prisoners. Takes no prisoners for anybody, though. He's straight to the point. Per our staff,
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I don't know where you were at the time. Were you in Ireland or?
I was in. I was flying home from Birmingham. From
Oh, okay.
Birmingham to. It was a little small plane. Well, not that small, but it was like a 3 and 3 seater kind of a vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was like you could have put 1,000 guitars on it. There's nobody on the plane, But the joys of the traveling musician dealing with our staff sometimes can be very fun.
Yeah, but he's a long way from home as well,
Yeah.
And so he's probably seen a few flight attendants along the route.
Yeah. I know.
And had plenty of arguments as well, expect.
Yeah, myself too. I actually held up a flight once, so I did.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah, no. I just had enough. It's because I think it was an EasyJet flight. I held the flight up because, they weren't going to let me put my guitar on the plane.
Yeah.
No, what happened? Oh, no, actually, what happened was, I was on the plane, had the guitar in my bag or my back and a gig bag, and it would have fitted somewhere. And the policies with these crappy airlines is like, first come, first serve, and whack their bags up, So, and I had this guitar, it was only like £5,000 guitar, and they're like, the girl says to me, well, you're going to have to put it in a hold, in the cargo. And I was like, yeah, that's totally fine. I says, have you got a seat down there for me too? And then she's like, oh, no, it has to go, you can't do that. And says, well, I just basically go, well, the only way that guitar is going down there is if I go with it. And she just kept going on. I just stood my ground as they did. And I says, can you not find a seat for it? Like, I'm sure there's got to be an empty seat on the plane somewhere. And, she just faffed around and, it was threatening to throw me off the plane and stuff. And then the other air hostess, she asked this guy, back row, asked him, would he mind changing to my seat?
Yeah.
And the guy was like, yeah, no problem, So there was 2 seats at the back. One was empty and one I sat in. And so they just put my guitar in the back seat. And I just turned around and says, was that so freaking hard? Like, come on. Just... Yeah.
Well, it doesn't take a minute to fucking be nice, does it,
No, it's don't get me started on our staff. I can go on and on all night. Not me. It's they get. It's like their sense of empowerment they get. When they I don't know, whatever. Not gonna.
Well, that's like most of them. I mean, security guards. They're the same sort of people. They all give them a little bit of power and they take a mile, really.
I tell you the worst ones.
Go on.
For me is when you go up the tip. So when I got the refuge and you go up there and you've got a black bag full of stuff and they just expect you to rip it open and recycle everything, and they're like little miniature Hitlers, a lot of them. They won't allow you to do anything up there. They're a nightmare. Absolute nightmare they are up in the tip.
They're like miniature Hitlers. I mean, Hitler was only about 5'3", wasn't he?
Oh,
So how big are these people? Are they midgets? They don't boss you. You don't have midgets bossing you around, do you, Dave?
Yeah, they're hobbits.
Well, my missus is a lot shorter than me. She bosses me about. I'm used to it.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, very good. So we started doing this section on the show, Simon, called the Word Police. I mean, I haven't done it for a couple of weeks actually because we did something else, but. I've been looking at the Word Police again because they made a new list. I mean, for 2022, but this list is actually from 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And a word that's been banned, I've pulled out, is the word Karen. I mean, I'm sure you've heard the phrase, or she must be a Karen.
No, I've never heard
that. It's quite rife because I'm in Holland and it's quite rife over here, actually.
Oh, really? What does it mean?
Well, I'll read the description of what it says. Okay, it says, what began as an anti-racist critique of the behaviour of white women in response to black and brown people has become a misogynist umbrella term for critiquing the perceived over-emotional behaviour of women. As one nominator said about reasons for its banishment, I would tell you why, but I'd sound like a Karen. And another critic observed, offensive to all normal people named Karen.
Brilliant.
So I mean, it's like, stop being a Karen, it means you're a moaning Minnie, if you like. I could say something else, but
I've never ever heard that.
I'm gonna use that. Call my wife that when I go in. No, I won't.
Is her name Karen?
No, thankfully not. No. I do know a few
quite
people
a
called
few
Karen.
Karens.
Yeah, David knows a few Karens as well.
I work with quite a few Karens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna think of them in a different light now.
That's right. I'm gonna message him later on.
They'll not be able to talk to him with a straight face.
What was that one woman, Dave, you said had changed her name to?
Well, she was actually called Kieran when I met her.
Kieran. Does she spell it Karen, though?
Yeah.
See, she must have changed it when they knew they were going to ban Karens.
Must have been, yeah.
Or when they just started dissing Karens and being moaning people.
Yeah, because Kieran does listen to the podcast as well, so
Oh.
I have to send a comment to her.
You could have started. You could have said that before.
Kieran. Damn it! I'll have to edit that bit out now.
Are there any other names that they sort of like use derogatory then?
I don't know.
I've
Uncle
never
Tom.
come across that as being called like a Karen.
I suppose, like, they call this
Charlie,
one's for guys. They would call people over here Jessies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You get that one. That's probably not. It's a normal one, but
Nah, you big Jesse.
yeah. I can't think of anything else.
Use a proper Charlie. That's another one, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Well, Jesse was quite big anyway, wasn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
They say you big Jesse, but he was big, wasn't he?
Uncle Jesse was on Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah, he was big, yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of any others.
Charlie. Yeah, you're right, Charlie. You're
Yeah.
big Jesse.
Richard? Is Richard
Well,
Dick.
Sean is Dick.
yeah.
Yeah, but those ones haven't been banned. It's only they've only banned Karen because there's probably a woman banned it.
That's crazy, isn't
Fair
it?
enough. Fair point.
So when you're going to register your child's name now, then there must be a list of names you're not allowed to have in, perhaps. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Can't have that. No, that's off the shoe. Can't have that one.
Yeah. I remember when I had my kids, all the names that I wanted to call them never were allowed. Like, first one was Hendrix, Lukather, what was the other? Vi. I was like, can I not call him Vi? No, or, anyway, that's, just a standard old Daniel now. That's his name, Daniel.
Oh, they could have called him Violet, but it was a boy, not a girl.
No, that's maybe when he's older. Has a change of heart, And oh, that's terrible.
So apart from your album and your tour, you got anything else coming up, mate?
What else got coming up? Not a lot, really. No, just the tour album coming out. Yeah, there's not a lot happening, to be honest. It's
Yeah, it's just a struggle for everybody with this COVID nonsense.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to know what to commit to, really, isn't it? With
it's like,
really...
because everybody's committing, doing tours. Like, even tonight, I've seen another band, cancel their tour for February and March. And I'm going,
oh, never.
So there's lots of people just cancelling stuff, and it's just kind of concerning, even for the likes of me. And I have this tour in March, and I'm kind of going, fingers crossed it happens,
Yeah.
It could be taken out of my hands, but to be honest, I don't think it'll get cancelled now. I don't think there'll be any more lockdowns or any restrictions put in place at all. I think we're on the way out, hopefully, So, but apart from that, not really much. I'm just, most of the time I'm just doing, kind of a, online video content for different people, like for PRS guitars and Boss Effects, just all my endorsements and stuff. And then I have my Rockstar Club, which is a virtual online platform for learning, for teaching, sort of thing. I have that going, which people pay subscriptions to, so which is great. And just whatever else anybody throws at me, it's my life hasn't been very rock and roll for the last 2 years. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
so
because I know you teach at the Dublin Music School as well, don't you? Is it DIM or DIMM? I think.
Yeah, BIM. Yeah, I do a little bit for those
BIM,
guys
yeah.
as well. It's handy. The thing is with teaching, I kind of like teaching. I like giving something back to young enthusiastic people who want to learn stuff. So I don't know. I just kind of get. And plus, it's dead easy. I get to hang in a room with a bunch of musicians and basically talk musician crap all day, and that's great, and they pay me for it. So yeah, I do some stuff for them guys, not a lot, but it's with with today's industry, I find you gotta do a little bit of everything, if you know what I mean, because as I said, I do the teaching, I do the online content, I do clinics, gigs whenever they appear again, and just sessions, and whatever else anybody throws at me. It's just a modern musician. That's the way you gotta be. It's the days of being the ultimate rock star are getting more and more difficult. Because there's no money in album sales anymore because everybody's online streaming things, and that's just the way of the modern world. It is what it is. It could be worse. It could be back 15 years ago when we had Napster and everybody was streaming stuff for nothing. At least now we get 0.00004 of a penny per play on Spotify. So it's better than nothing, as they say. So but yeah, so you just gotta kind of just do everything. But it's good. It keeps me busy. And then I'm glad I do everything because I can't sit in my ass for any longer than 5 minutes.
Oh, right, okay.
I need to be doing something all the time. So unless there's a glass of wine in my hand, and then I'm done.
Yeah, the college is Brighton Institute of Music, isn't it? But it is in Dublin, yeah.
Yeah, they're all over the place. There's one in Brighton. I think there's one in London. There's one in Berlin, I think. And there's one in Dublin. There's a few others in England too. They've about, I don't know, it might be 8 or 9 of them. There's somewhere else too. Maybe France. No, not France. I don't know where it is. Maybe, but they've a bunch of them. So they've been around for a long time, but 10 years. So or maybe longer actually. I don't know.
I don't know.
That's all I know. But it's good college. It's all the tutors in the colleges are professional musicians. It's not like they're going to college to get taught by a standard teacher, if you know what I mean. So it's even in Dublin, they're all the top session heads around Ireland, who teach in it. So it's like the students are getting the experience more than anything. So but it's fun. It's just another thing to do.
Yeah. Well, as long as you enjoy it, I mean, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, if I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, money is money. I can make it somewhere else.
Lucky you.
Well, sorry. Yeah, let me rephrase that. I can try to make it somewhere else. You don't know where that somewhere else is yet. It could be down in the red light district somewhere now.
Only fans. That's the way to go.
David's still on about that. I tell you.
Yeah.
He's still trying to get me to take my top off.
Brilliant. Then you get an OnlyFans.
I think that's a. If we had an OnlyFans logo on the side of our Just Chopsing, I think it's the way to go. And maybe
I'll make one.
Hey, yeah,
maybe a boob.
Well, it could be for us because we're only fans. We talk to all these great musicians, and we're just fans of music. So
yeah, we'll end up getting sued by them.
For plagiarism.
Yeah.
Well, it saves the musicians we have on getting sued, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
All right.
Cool. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I wish you loads of luck, and I hope your tour goes ahead in March. Because I've got gigs planned as well from March onwards. So I'm just like I said, I'm hoping, we can get out and see you guys playing live on stage, which would be great because I've missed it as well. So.
Yeah, everybody's missed it. Everybody's missed, just the social things, just getting out and seeing people, and it's still going to take a while because people are going to. It's going to be that period of uncertainty for people. Should they go out? Should they stay in? They don't know. They're a bit afraid, or I don't know. It's going to take a while, I think. Anyway, I personally believe things aren't really going to get back to normal until 2024.
Yeah, I think it probably.
I think next year will be a bit, the tail end of it will still be a bit funny, but it is what it is. We're all in it together, as Boris keeps saying.
Well, we definitely are.
Well, the rest of us are in it together, but he's doing it on his own, isn't he?
He's doing it on his own in Downing Street, having parties.
That's right. He's been having gigs all the way through it.
Yeah, he's been having great crack. Yeah. And I wasn't invited. Disappointed in that.
No, I wasn't.
That's terrible. Could have took your guitar.
Could have, put a hat out and made a few quid.
That's right. Not enough politicians.
I was going to say, no,
No.
They'd want to claim it back on their expenses anyway. They'd want a receipt of it.
Yeah, what they'll do is they'll give you all this money in the hat, and then they'll take it off you in another way. On tax. Yeah. Well,
just out of interest, when you've been speaking to the venues, have they been asking if you've been jabbed and stuff like that? And before you're allowed to play there, is there any kind of rules that they're putting in place?
I don't deal with the venues. The agent deals with all that. So, but he hasn't relayed on any information about jobs or anything like that. I know a few festivals. I did a festival there, the HRH festival, just before Christmas. They were asking about jobs and stuff like that, and I said, well, I'm fine. I've got a vaccine passport or whatever it is, and so is the bass player. But Marty, the guy that normally plays with me, he hadn't had a vaccine yet. And Johnny, so I use a Johnny London guy, and so it was fine for him to go. But to be honest, when we got there, nobody said anything. Nobody asked for anything. It's like,
yeah, but it's in your paperwork, isn't it? It's like your rider, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. So, but I haven't really. Nobody's mentioned anything. So, thankfully we all now have vaccine, passports. So just to cut out any nonsense, when we get there, which is, it's a thing we'll have to do if you want to work these days. Apparently.
And even if you want to play tennis.
Yeah. If you want a cup of coffee.
Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
Because Djokovic said he hadn't been abroad, didn't he? Did you see on the news today? Well, they caught him in Spain on his social media.
What's he have?
I know. They caught him, and they say he admitted to going out while he had COVID, and stuff like that. It's like,
send him home. That's what I say. Let somebody else win it.
Yeah.
Somebody else a chance.
I know. Yeah.
All right, then, mate. Well, it's been good to talk to you.
You too. Thanks for having me on.
That's great. And you said you got a video for the fight there, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, it's on YouTube. Just type in my name, Simon McBride, the fighter, in the YouTube. It'll be the first thing.
Yeah. I've listened to the song. I didn't listen to it through YouTube. I went somewhere else. Yeah,
no, there's a video that's on the record company site called Ear. They're called Ear Music. So
yeah.
It's on their site, so the YouTube site. But if you Google it, it'll be there. It's
that's okay. Because I'll put it on the end of this video. See.
Yeah. Cool. No problem.
So I'll probably get copyright flagged for it then. It's gone through the record company.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, great.
I get copyright flagged for my own songs. Me playing them. I got what was it? I think I did something on YouTube showing I was playing one of my own songs just in here, and then YouTube flagged it with me and it says you can't use that. And I was like, somebody else had claimed copyright of it. It's somewhere in South America.
Oh, really?
I was like going. So I had to supply all this stupid information to YouTube and go, well, they were basically asking me to prove it that it's me, and I went, okay, here's the link to the video on YouTube, your thing from the record company. Here's the link to iTunes, Spotify, Amazon with the song title and my face on the picture.
Use my
Anything
face.
else? And use my face.
Yeah, and it's like that was it. So, and I had to prove that they didn't own copyright of it. It's mad though, the world of YouTube. People who they go on and claim copyright for everything. If you don't have it copyrighted, people just copyright it. With whatever the royalty collection scheme it is in each country. It's bizarre. People are just after everything. It's,
okay. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to start doing that.
Keep you on the night. Fighter. Which copyright?
Did it get copyright flagged? No, right. Copyright it quick.
It seems to be the way of the world these days. Why not? Go for it.
That's terrible. But that's just terrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just
It is. It is the way of the world. But there's nothing we can do. We live in the big bad world of computers.
Yeah. And it's, it can be quite scary out there, I guess.
Yep.
To be honest. The old, what do they call it? Internet highway or something? I don't know what they call it. They call it something like that, don't they?
Something like that, yeah.
So, the scary internet highway.
Yeah.
All right, Simon. Like I said, thanks for talking to us. We'll whack your video on the end.
No problem.
And I'll put a few of your songs in this video as well also.
Cool. Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, mate.
All right.
So-
We'll have fun.
And you. Thank you
And
very
I'll,
much.
Speak to you soon.
Hope
Some
the
point.
record does
Somewhere
well,
down the
mate.
line. If I'm next time I'm in Holland, come to the
Yeah,
gig.
yeah. Good luck with the tour, man.
Yeah, I know. Thanks very much.
All
All right, guys.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right,
Cheers.
I'll
Yeah.
click it off.
I know where I'm going. I know where I've got to be. And if I can make it, the whole world is going to see. Nothing can break, nothing can shake me. 'Cause I came so far. Nothing can break, nothing can shake me. It's easy to run, it's easy to hide. I ain't lying down, 'cause I've got this fire inside. It's easy to run, it's easy to hide. Call me the fire, the one step aside. Oh, I'm a fighter. There's only one path now, and I won't falter or fall. I'll meet this thing head on. I'll give it my best, my all, my all. Nothing can break, nothing can shake me. 'Cause I came so far. Nothing can break, nothing can shake me. It's easy to run, it's easy to hide. I ain't lying down, 'cause I've got this fire inside. It's easy to run, it's easy to hide. Call me the fire, the one step aside. Come on, take your best shot. I'll be right here waiting. Come on, show me what you got. Show me what you It's easy to run, it's easy to hide. I ain't lying down, 'cause I've got this fire inside. It's easy to run, it's easy to hide. Call me the fire, and won't step aside. It's easy to run, it's easy to hide. I ain't lying down, 'cause I've got this fire inside. It's easy to run, it's easy to hide. Call me the fire, the one step aside. Oh, I'm the fighter.
Hey folks, it's Simon McBride here. Great news, I am releasing a subscription-based lesson package, and it's called the Rockstar Club. So if you want to learn how to be, like your favorite rock star, or learn the techniques that they used, then come on here and sign up. So there's two packages. There's the VIP package, which is basically a 15 to 20 minute pre-recorded video by myself, obviously, every week, which I will upload online. The second package is the AAA package, which basically has the same as the VIP package. The only difference is you get my lick of the week, a full transcription to it with a video. You get access to future guest lessons. You get access to future music releases. You get 2 written questions per week, which I will answer. And everybody that signs up gets a free packet of my signature plectrums, which are these. They come in different colors, obviously. They come in green, black, blue, pink. I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. So, sign up and be a part of my Rockstar Club, and I'll see you soon.